Welcome to Zone 6 Picks, your go-to source for daily sports betting predictions, expert insights, and free picks across the biggest games in the NBA, WNBA, NFL, MLB, NCAA, and more. We specialize in delivering accurate, research-backed betting content with no subscriptions, no hidden fees, just straightforward betting advice you can trust. Before we get started, a quick shout-out from my partner Zone 6.
What's up, family? Thanks for tapping in with Zone 6 Picks, where we drop game picks every single day. Straight free picks, no pay for play. If you like winning, this is the zone you need to be in, Zone 6. Just show the channel some love, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell so you don't never miss a money play. Let's eat.
What's good with you, Zone 6 family? And welcome back to the Zone. We got a 3-game slate starting in the afternoon, so without wasting time, let's get you in and out. We got the hometown team, the Atlanta Dream, traveling to Mohegan Sun Arena on September 1st to take on the Connecticut Sun in what shapes up as an intriguing late-season matchup. Atlanta comes in as one of the hottest teams in the league, while Connecticut, despite their record, has been sneaky good against the spread in recent weeks. The Dream enter this game at 25-14, surging with 12 wins in their last 16 outings, including a dominant 100-78 road victory over the Dallas Wings. On the season, they've been one of the best road teams in the WNBA, posting a 14-6 record against the spread away from home. As double-digit favorites, they've been reliable, covering 3 of their 5 opportunities. Connecticut, on the other hand, sits at 10-29 overall and has endured a difficult year, including a recent 94-68 loss to the Minnesota Lynx. But bettors know this team has been quietly covering numbers at a high clip. Outside of that Lynx game, the Sun are 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 games and 22-16 ATS overall, including 11-8 at home. Despite their losing record, they've proven they can stay competitive against the number. Player availability could play a subtle role here. Bria Hartley is out for Connecticut, and Olivia Nelson-Ododa is listed day-to-day, thinning their rotation. Atlanta will be without Jordan Canada, but their depth and balance have consistently allowed them to overcome absences. From a metrics standpoint, the Dream's edge is undeniable. They carry a net rating of 7.7, an offensive rating over 107, and a defensive rating of 99.3. They average 83.5 points per game, while allowing just 77.1, the second-best defensive mark in the league. Connecticut, by comparison, holds a -11.9 net rating, scoring only 76.3 points per game, while allowing nearly 86. Opponents shoot nearly 47% against them, and they give up one of the highest rates of free throw attempts in the league, areas Atlanta is well-positioned to exploit. Historically, however, the Sun have not been a pushover for Atlanta. Connecticut won the last meeting at Mohegan Sun Arena, 84-76, and have taken 6 of the last 10 in the series. This year, the two sides have split their first 2 matchups, showing the Sun know how to make things competitive despite the gap in records. The betting markets opened with Atlanta as 10.5-point favorites, and movement toward 11.5 at some books suggests confidence in the Dream. Given their road dominance and statistical superiority, Atlanta is the clear favorite to win this game and cover. That said, Connecticut's ATS momentum and head-to-head history keep the door open for a potential backdoor cover. Bet wisely and practice safe bankroll management, but with that being said, give me ATL Shawty. Final projection, Atlanta Dream 85, Connecticut Sun 69. That scoreline would see the Dream winning comfortably and covering the spread. With their elite efficiency, defense, and ability to travel well, the numbers point strongly in Atlanta's favor. Riding off into the next game, the Minnesota Lynx will host the Dallas Wings at Target Center in Minneapolis. This matchup brings together a Lynx team that has been the class of the league against a Dallas squad, battling through one of the toughest stretches of its season. The question for bettors isn't whether Minnesota will win, but whether they can cover a hefty spread on their home court. Minnesota enters this contest as the WNBA's top seed with a 31-8 record. Their dominance at home has been clear, with an 18-3 mark at Target Center, and while they've gone 3-3 in their last 6 games, their balance on both ends of the court remains unmatched. The Lynx carry a 23-15-1 record against the spread, and their 94-70 rout of the Connecticut Sun in their last outing displayed their ability to lock down defensively while scoring efficiently. They've historically thrived against Dallas at home, winning 13 of their last 15 meetings in Minneapolis. The Wings, meanwhile, limp into this matchup at 9-31 overall and on a 7-game skid. Their latest defeat was a 100-78 loss to the Atlanta Dream, another example of their ongoing struggles on both ends of the floor. They sit just 4-15 on the road and 16-23 against the spread this season. Dallas's defensive numbers are some of the worst in the league, having allowed 90 or more points in 6 of their last 7 games, and their offense leans heavily on the availability of Paige Bueckers. Injuries remain the biggest hurdle for Dallas. Eric Ogdenbowl, Lee Uru, Tyasha Harris, and J.J. Quinerly are all sidelined, as Yaha James and Haley Jones are listed as questionable, and Bueckers herself has been tagged day-to-day, raising concerns about her workload in this contest. If she's limited or unavailable, Dallas's chances take a significant hit. Minnesota has its own absences in Aubrey Griffin and Dorka Juhas, but with Nafisa Collier healthy and producing near MVP numbers, the Lynx retain their core strength. From a numbers standpoint, the Lynx hold the league's best offensive and defensive efficiency. They lead the WNBA in scoring at 86.5 points per game on 47.1% shooting, and in assists with 23.3 per contest. Defensively, they allow only 77 points per game and rank among the best in opponent field goal percentage. Dallas sits near the bottom in both categories, averaging just over 81 points, while giving up more than 88. Head-to-head trends strongly favor Minnesota. They've beaten Dallas 3 times this season, twice by double figures, and there's little evidence suggesting this meeting will be any different. With both teams coming in on equal rest, the situational edge tilts further toward the Lynx given their home dominance and Dallas's poor travel record. Oddsmakers open Minnesota as 16.5-point favorites, with books now listing the line anywhere between 15.5 and 17.5. Market confidence clearly leans toward Minnesota handling business with ease. Taking everything into account, the injuries plaguing Dallas, the defensive mismatches, and Minnesota's proven consistency, the Lynx are not only the more likely team to win, but also to cover a large number. Projected score: Minnesota Lynx 92, Dallas Wings 74. That 18-point margin would see Minnesota covering comfortably once again. On to the last matchup of the night. 2 teams I can't stand right now. 2 teams that had cost me too much money. 2 goofies. The LA Sparks head to Climate Pledge Arena to take on the Seattle Storm in a matchup that could have major playoff implications. The Storm enter the game looking to strengthen their postseason positioning, while the Sparks are fighting to stay in the race, with Seattle listed as 6.5-point favorites. The question is whether the Sparks can hang around, or if the Storm will use their home floor to cover comfortably. Seattle comes in with a 22-19 record, holding steady as one of the top teams in the Western Conference. Their recent form has been solid, winning 6 of their last 10 games, including a 79-69 home victory over the Chicago Sky. The downside is their home performance against the spread, where they are just 5-14 this season despite an overall mark of 17-23 ATS. Climate Pledge Arena has been more of a challenge than a weapon in betting terms. The Sparks sit at 17-20 overall and continue to scrap for playoff position. They are 5-5 in their last 10 outings, but have dropped 2 straight, and fatigue becomes a factor here since they are playing on the second night of a back-to-back, following a narrow win against Washington. Even with the scheduling disadvantage, Los Angeles has been a respectable road team, carrying a 9-7-1 ATS record away from home compared to their struggles in LA. Injuries further complicate matters. Rickea Jackson is listed day-to-day for the Sparks, while Jordan Horston and Nika Moule are out, limiting depth and offensive options. Seattle is also missing Katie Lou Samuelson and has Dominique Malonga listed as day-to-day, but their rotation remains more intact. Seattle's front court consistent production is the anchor Seattle can rely on, whereas LA will need to maximize what they get from its backcourt and frontline scorers just to keep pace. Statistically, the Storm have an edge defensively, allowing just over 80 points per game and ranking 5th in field goal defense. They shoot efficiently themselves at 45% and move the ball well with over 21 assists per game. LA has a higher scoring average at 86 points, but their defense has been a liability, giving up nearly 88 points per contest. This imbalance has been a recurring theme throughout the season. Head-to-head results this year show LA has played Seattle well. The Sparks have taken 2 of the first 3 matchups, including a win earlier in Seattle. That trend cannot be ignored, especially with the Storm's ongoing ATS issues at home. The situational angle remains critical. LA is coming off a game less than 24 hours before, while Seattle is rested and at home. That points strongly to the Storm winning outright. However, the betting spread presents a different story, given Seattle's 5-14 ATS home record and the Sparks' ability to rise in this specific matchup. The lean goes toward LA covering, while Seattle secures the victory. Final projection: Seattle Storm 85, LA Sparks 80. The Storm get the win, but the Sparks keep it inside the number, making them the better side on the spread. Honestly, I'm just fading the goofier team. The Storm, I wouldn't be mad if you rocked with the Storm, but they're just the goofy team to lose in a spot they're supposed to dominate, especially after the win against the Lynx. Smells like a letdown spot. Not to mention they mocked the Lynx by mimicking their dance. Could be some bad karma heading their way. Yeah, we'll see. Alright squad, let's run it back. For Atlanta versus Connecticut, I'm rolling with the Dream to handle business and cover that minus 10.5 spread. Over in Minnesota, I've got the Lynx taking care of the Wings and covering the big number at minus 16.5. And in Seattle, I think the Storm get the win, but the Sparks keep it close enough to cover the plus 6.5. That's it for today, family. If you're rocking with Zone 6 picks, smash that like button before your bookie smashes your wallet. Hit subscribe so you're locked in for every play, and drop a comment to let me know who you're riding with tonight. Let's keep the picks hot and the bankroll hotter.